And now we'll be looking at startups which are also into health and biotech. Let's start with Giuseppe Facman, who's developing a non-viral vector and improving gene therapy's efficiency. Let me move aside and leave the floor to him for the next 3 minutes. Yes, good afternoon. I'm Clément, co-founder of Fabmid. It's a biotechnology in gene therapy. Now, gene therapy enables you to look at very treatments that are serious, like genetic treatment, genetic disorders, cancer, and so on, and it's really developing. Now, for gene therapy, essentially, we are using viral vectors which will infect the cells of the patients, and that will be gene therapy, and that will enable the therapeutic effect. The major drawback with these systems is that in terms of production, these vectors are extremely expensive to make. They can cost several thousands of dollars for just a single treatment for a single patient. So in terms of scalability, also we have a major challenge because it's extremely difficult to make huge quantities of virus vectors. Plus, they have other therapeutic limits because viral vectors by nature have this risk of toxicity, which makes them which can lead to harmful side effects in certain cases. So we've developed a new synthetic non-viral vector, and that is a DNA molecule which is mixed with proteins. So this molecule has the therapeutic gene, and the proteins improves the efficiency of the vector. Our vector, quite concretely, thanks to this protein, will target certain cells in the patient, more easily penetrate the cells and the kernel, and therefore will be able to carry more easily the therapeutic genes into the patient cells. Now, it can be customized. It's customizable, and you can choose the best genes and therapy for the best kind of diseases. It's much cheaper and simpler than viral vectors, virtually 10 times cheaper to make, and they're also scalable, so it can be used instead of viral vectors to develop new gene therapy. So Fabmid is the result of 2 years of research in Eugeniopol, where we are based, and we have our first patent for our innovation. This technology would meet the needs of patients and customers who've already tested them with their future potential customers. Today, there's Andre and myself as teams, and we're expecting to carry on with our R&D program, which is why we need to hire a team of scientists and engineers to market the first product in 2023. To meet our aims, we are looking for investors who would assist us in our development and to raise €1 million. Well done. You're just 14 seconds away from the gong. Now it's necessarily going to... so your company is Fabmid. Now, it's a future solution, but who's it meant for, this futuristic solution? It's about 400 biotech pharmaceutical companies which are developing gene therapy in all sorts of different fields for all sorts of different disorders and conditions. So for these customers, we are proposing our vector rather than the viral vector. So that'll help them to accelerate their development and to reduce development costs. So in this great field of gene therapy, we will first look at cellular gene therapy, and in the long run, we mean to address any kind of therapy for all markets to provide solutions for all patients. You said you're 2, but you're looking for more employees, more. And I suppose that's only one part of the budget that you're looking for in the €1 million. Yes. Yes, we would like to hire a team. We plan to be 8 by the end of 2028 and 10 by 2023, and of course that costs a lot of money. Our development program is expensive because all the raw material we use, all the reactors and so on, reactants are expensive. So we need money also to protect our patent abroad, and that's why we've set aside this fund, which will be allocated to us. All right, let's go on to the next picture. In biotech. Now, of course, if you wish to vote for Fabrice, you do it right here. And now, Laure for SiVIEW. This is an IA solution developed thanks to a very powerful algorithm looking at eyesight in particular. Well, there's nothing new when I say that eyesight is extremely important, and to have just the right eyes, you must have the right kind of examination done. But since there's so many people in the world who require glasses or who need corrective aids, and it takes a long time to get them their glasses, etc., and most of the time they don't have the right vision. And I'm sure that all of you have also seen that access to this kind of care is very, very difficult. So SiVIEW has spent several years to create a solution which will make eye visual examination, optical examination quite simple. Now, simply put, you have a software that monitors with AI, a very powerful AI, your eyes for even an inexperienced person. Just by connecting it in your clinic, you can do it no matter what the brand is. So our medical system enables the doctor to delegate this system quite easily to the assistant. Now, the customers will be B2B in France and abroad, and we are also looking at ophthalmologists, opticians, as well as telemedicine manufacturers. They're really booming now. So with our solution, they'll be able to uniformize and optimize, plus hand over this task to an assistant. At the same time, the patient will also be well managed, well looked after. It'll be very quick and efficient and have a good eyesight finally. So it's sight correction. Our business model is a recurrent one. It's an SAS system. So you start off either with a monthly subscription, and it's based on very simple ROI. You save time, you save HR, and also any kind of sight miscalculation. There are no perfect solutions without a good team, and so we have an interdisciplinary team with us which has tested, created, and given the go-ahead to this solution. They come from the clinical background, an academic background, from manufacturing background, and of course the health sector. So we've marketed our system already in 2019, end of 2019, and today we are very proud because we have 2 distributors, 2 in France and 1 abroad. We are also very proud that we have signed up with a major optical center. Army has also accepted a chain, and the Army has used it for its pilots' eyesight. We were in the US last week to finalize a partnership with a telemedicine company, which after 2 clinical tests accepted our solution, gave us the green light. So we are looking for 5 million euros today to accelerate our marketing development and to add to our R&D. And then thank you very much. Well, thank you. Thank you, Paris-Saclay, for your faith and visibility. Now, Laure, how are your solutions different from your competition? Well, in 4 ways, really. We are the only solution of artificial intelligence. That's the first thing. We don't have any sequencing as such. It's artificial intelligence as such. And then secondly, we connect to any kind of optical instrument. You upgrade existing instruments, and besides, we are the only really intuitive system so that even an inexperienced person can carry out this test, sight test. Plus, it's the practitioner who remains the main person and come up with the best prescription for glasses because you give him a complete report. What's your priority market just now? Well, we've got 2 major markets. Firstly, it would be all the major optical chains in France and Europe. We are in touch with some of them, and we've signed up with 1 in France. And of course, with the USA, I just mentioned to you, plus telemedicine. Well, thank you very much, Laure. I'll let you go. Thank you very much. Well done for your pitch. You can move out this way. Now, if you're in favor of SiVIEW, you know what you have to do. And now let's go on to Belgium and let's join another investor for this series, Health and Biotech. Hello, Alain. You're founder and partner of Newton Biocapital. What do you feel about the two pitches you just heard, which were so exceptional? Well, the first one is extremely young. In general, here in Belgium, we feel that France is... Sorry, the voice is choppy, it's cutting off. These are two very different projects. Of course, it's very scientific, but with a lot of potential. And the other one has marketing resources. I really appreciated the second project. Well, if I might say so, you really liked the number two. You're allowed to. Well, I found it fantastic. If I were to invest, I would invest in the first one, actually, because it fits with my portfolio and my profile. But given the quality of the pitch, I'd go for number two. So briefly, can you tell us about your fund? Because it's based on health and biotech, particularly in Europe, but even beyond. Yes, we're in Europe, and so in Europe we've got France and Belgium, essentially. And so it's a university spin-offs that we include. And there was one in Nantes that we recently invested in. And now we can't hear him. Also in Tokyo. Why Japan? Because it's got science of excellent quality. So there's this real willingness and desire to move on, and the Japanese ministry we can't hear the gentleman. Well, thank you very much. I'm very sorry, but there seems to be some kind of disconnection. So if you selected Japan, because the government is interested in developing it, and that's happening here, of course, in Paris-Saclay, particularly for spring. And this time, since time is just spinning by, we will talk about one of the major subjects of 2020. You almost started a diplomatic issue between China and America. We are talking of 5G immediately with Sandra and her guests.